So, during my daily peruse of the death site that is X, formerly known as Twitter, I came across this super interesting thread by a guy called Max Hoberman. Now, I'd never heard of this guy before, however, it turns out he is one of the lead developers for the matchmaking system in Halo 2. And on Twitter, he shared a Games Radar article about skill-based matchmaking in Modern Warfare 3 and given his 2 cents on it, and it is super interesting. And honestly, this take on the matchmaking system in Modern Warfare 3 is one of the best I have heard. And even if you're one of these people that comes into my comments and says skill-based matchmaking isn't that bad, you need to listen to this post from someone who was in the depths of this stuff and actually made the matchmaking system for one of the most popular and earliest mainstream multiplayer games there was on the market. So anyway, this is what he said. I see mention of the skill-based matchmaking component I designed for Halo 2 and 3 on this site every so often. It's usually mentioned reverently, but then an outlier jumps in to claim it can't work today. I disagree. What I implemented cleanly divided the space into ranked and unranked matchmaking playlists. Ranked filtered opponents based on level. This was for when you wanted a competitive match, but even then, I intentionally allowed variability in the range of levels we matched you with. This variability was a topic of hot debate internally during development 20 years ago. Obviously, no one wants to get stomped continuously. On the flip side, it gets dull for most people continuously stomping on others. However, it is fun having the upper hand some of the time. By intentionally allowing a range of skills to match together, we provided 3 experiences in ranked matchmaking: an easier one where you can kick butt, a harder one where you are likely outmatched, and an evenly matched one. My theory was that a good mix of all 3 of these was ideal. But why not evenly match people though? My reasoning was that these are actually the most stressful matches of the set. Sure, they're the most fun to watch for spectators, games come down to the wire, but that's because the team that wins is the team that outperforms expectations. The failure of modern skill-based matchmaking, in my honest opinion, is that it's designed to maximize these perfect match scenarios and minimize the others. When it's working, a majority of games become super tight, super stressful. That's not fun for most players. Where's the variability? This system I designed for ranked playlists ensures a healthy mix. Sure, it sucks watching your favorite team get their butt kicked, but it comes full circle when they're the ones kicking butt. Throw in tight, evenly matched games every so often, and that's a ton of fun. I haven't even gotten to unranked playlists yet. I designed these not to factor in skill or level in the search for opponents. Yes, our engineers utilized the same code base and kept skill or level as a search criteria, but we substantially deprioritized it in the matchmaking. We also didn't track skill or level globally, only per playlist. The net result was that unranked matchmaking allowed a very wide range of skill levels to match together for what everyone agreed was casual, inconsequential fun. Again, that's the way it should be in my opinion. Since the natural skill level distribution of players follows a bell curve, there are outliers, inherent low skill and high skill players. Characterizing the high skill ones as sweaty teens hopped up on Monster Energy is really disrespectful. Segregating high skill players from the population at large, forcing long wait times on them, is a form of discrimination. Designers should strive to find a way that players of all skill levels can have fun together. Casual, inconsequential, unranked matchmaking is one way. I dabbled with handicap settings and asymmetric game mode design as others. Game devs shouldn't take the easy way out and default to segregation though. There's far more that can be done. Derogatory views like this among game devs is a cop-out and a disservice to players. Okay, so there's obviously quite a lot to unpack here, but honestly, that is the best take on skill-based matchmaking I've ever heard, especially coming from someone who is a head developer in this exact field. The thing is, this is what I've been trying to say for like the last 2 weeks. To be honest, it's what I've been trying to say for the last few years. We don't want to just stomp on noobs. Like Max said, if every game you just ran over the lobby, it would get very boring very quickly. Similarly, it can be good fun when you're up against the team that totally outmatches you. The problem is our skill-based matchmaking system that we have in Modern Warfare 3 does not allow this. It is too rigid, and as a result, every single game you play feels like you're playing the exact perfect match for you. Obviously, there'll be a certain amount of variability on your team, but it seems like if you're doing well in Call of Duty, the other team are all going to be the sweatiest of players. And I don't care what anyone says, but that is not representative of the Call of Duty community getting better. Every single lobby I get in at the moment is people who are max rank running fully loaded Holgers. You cannot tell me that the average person who plays Call of Duty has already hit level 55 and already has all the attachments unlocked for the Holger. That is just not the case, because I know that there are a lot of players who only get to play like half an hour a night. Where are all they in the matchmaking system? Nowhere to be seen if you're a half-decent player, and herein lies the issue. Max Hoberman, a man who has been paid to design one of the best matchmaking systems we know, with a dedicated ranked playlist and, as he says, a casual, inconsequential, unranked mode. Inconsequential. That is the key word here, because that is what Call of Duty pubs should be. Realistically, the main point of Call of Duty, as it has been for years and years, is to level up, grind for camouflages, have casual fun with your friends, and build kill streaks. None of these are possible, and I've said it before and I will say it again, but none of these playstyles are possible with the current matchmaking system. And another thing that I want to touch on briefly about what Max has said here is when he condones segregating high-skilled players from the population. Obviously, there's going to be an argument to have the lowest of low-skilled players segregated so that they are not forced to quit the game by people who are obviously better than them because of no fault of their own. If they're disabled, if they're young, if they've never played a first-person shooter before, of course these players should be protected. But we should not have the same segregation for people who have put in the time and effort to get better at these games. Not least because there isn't even that many players of this caliber. So when you're trying to find the perfect match for these players, the result is high ping and long wait times, meaning that not only are you having to play a harder video game, but it's taking longer for the game to find you a match. All in all, even though you have paid the exact same money, you are actively getting punished for being better at the game because you have bought the game for years and years gone by. You can see how twisted this is, because the only people who are getting punished by this matchmaking system are the people who have stuck through Call of Duty through thick and thin through all of these years, all of these highs and all of these massive flops, and we are disproportionately feeling the effects of this matchmaking system. One more thing that I want to talk about is when he's talking about the variety and how he designed sort of 3 types of matchups. Now, when he's talking about this, he is talking in ranked. When he talks about casual game modes in Halo, he says that obviously there's a little bit of skill-based matchmaking, but it is seriously deprioritized compared to connection. He's essentially saying something that COD developers said for years, and that is that ping is king. And when you're playing a casual playlist, that is one thing that must ring true. Ping has to be king, otherwise it completely kills the experience for anyone who is not able to get that stable connection. We are playing one of the most popular video games on the planet at the moment. There is absolutely no way I should be put into a match with 70 to 100 ping. That's basically saying that between 6 PM and 9 PM when I play these games in England, there aren't enough people to match me with, which is total bullshit, to be honest with you. I'll leave you with this. I want you to tell me down below if Max Hoberman is talking out his ass or if he actually has a point here. Anyway, that's it from me today. I'm Average Joel. Peace.